Hey everyone, today we are going to solve the LeetCode question, image smoother. Okay, so let me explain with this example. So we have to calculate the average on each cell. So simply we iterate through each cell one by one. And regarding calculation of each cell, so problem is there is a case where target cell doesn't have 8 direction. So for example, in this case, only 5 has like an 8 direction, right? And the others don't have an 8 direction. So for example, look at the cell 1. So there are not like a top cell and a left cell from cell 1. And there is a cell on the right cell and the bottom cell from cell 1. And let's see another example. So look at cell 2. So there are not top cell, and there are left and the right and the bottom cells from cell 2. So point is each cell has different situation. So we need to check 4 directions, which are like a top, bottom, left, and right, to prevent out of bounds. Okay, so let's talk about how can we check 4 directions. So let's see one by one. So regarding a top, so let's say we are at 0, position. That means 1. So row of top cell should be current row minus 1, right? So current row minus 1. So from here, so top range should be max row minus 1 or 0, right? So if current row minus 1 is negative, so we take 0 because there is no row here, right? And so what if we are like 1, 0 here? So in that case, current row is 2, so minus 1 is 1 versus 0. So take 1 because there is a row here, right? So easy. Okay, next, let's talk about the bottom side and look at the part of my Python solution code here. So we want to decide a range of row, like from top to bottom. So if we want to include the next row, that means current row plus 1. So we have to compare like this. So bottom should be minimum and like a rows length of matrix row versus r plus 2. So r is a current row. So for example, so let's say we are like a 0, 0 position. So here. So in that case, calculation should be, so length of matrix should be 3, right? And current row is 0 plus 2. So take a minimum number, so this one, right? So bottom should be 2. So in that case, so from 0, 0 position, top should be, so current row is 0 and then minus 1 versus 0. So minus 1 versus 0 and take 0, right? So top should be 0 and bottom should be 2. So that's why we can successfully get the right range from like a 0 to 1, right? So 0 is included and 2 is not included. So that means, so we iterate through from 0 to 1. So from 0, 0 position, so yeah, there is no top cells and there is like a bottom cells. So we iterate through 0 and 1. So this row, yeah, looks good. Okay, so let's talk about our left and right. But let me explain left and right quickly. So actually it's same idea. So now you understand, I think, very easily. So left side should be actually same as top. So equal max. So only difference is we have to check like a column side. So C minus 1 versus 0, right? And then about the right side. So right side is the same idea of like a bottom side. So minimum, and so only difference is we have to check column side. So like a length of column matrix versus C column current column plus 2. Okay, let's check quickly. So about the left, so let's say we are 1, 0 position. And in the case, so current column index is 0. So 0 minus 1 versus 0. And I take a max number, so 0, right? So because there is no left side from 1, 0 position. And so about the right side, so length of column is 3. And the current column index is 0 plus 2. And I take a minimum number, so 2, right? So in the end, so this is a for loop for row side, but yeah, we have also for loop for column side. So in that case, so start should be left and end should be right. And in this case, so left is 0, right? And right should be 2. So 0 is included and 2 is not included. So we iterate through from 0 to 1. So 0, index 0 is here and index 1 is here. So from cell 4, we iterate through from 0 to this side, like this. So it looks good. Okay, so let's write the code. First of all, calculate the length of rows and the columns. So rows and the columns equal length of image and the length of image 0. And then, so we create a result to the array. So return, so we create a 2D array, and so I create this function later, but so let's say average value, and passing the current row and the column, and we use this function for each row, each cell. So for column in range and the length of matrix, so column, and then so a little bit complicated, but between this, so for row in range, length of rows, and then so let's create a def and average value, and pass taking a row and a column. So first of all, initialize total equal count equal 0. And this total is like a sum of target area, and the count is number of cells in the target area. And then, so as I told you, so top should be max, and 0 versus r minus 1. And the bottom should be min, and length of row versus r plus 2. And the left should be max and 0 or column minus 1. And the right should be min and length of column versus current column plus 2. And then after that, so let's iterate a target range. So for row in range, so start should be top and the end should be bottom. And we use one more for loop for column side. So for call in range, and the start should be left and the end should be right. And then so total should be image and row and column. And every time we add +1 to number of cell, so count plus equal 1. And then after that, just return total divide number of cells, so count. Yeah, so let me submit it. Yeah, looks good. And the time complexity of this solution should be order of row multiply columns. So because we iterate through all cells one by one here. And the space complexity is also order of rows multiply columns, or O1. So if we can ignore output to the array, so we can say O1. This is a step-by-step algorithm of my solution code. Yeah, so that's all I have for you today. If you like it, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, or leave a comment. I'll see you in the next question.